entrepreneurship as a pathway to building. Hopefully, we'll have the time to get to that. Now, let me quickly introduce Pastor Niyi in very few words, because if we were to do proper introduction, we'll spend a long time. Mr. Niyi Ajibola is a mechanical engineer with over 29 years of experience in the oil and gas sector. He's a retail investor and financial education sponsor. He's one of our sponsors in this community. He's known on various investing forums as Wanajo. He's passionate about educating people on how to use financial intelligence to make smart investment decisions toward wealth creation. Yes, Mr. Ajibola has been a speaker in our past workshops and the webinars. We have monthly money conversations, and is always available to help our members understand money better. He will help us understand today the processes and the advantages of starting to invest early in life. He will also help us understand the power of compound interest and wealth building. Pastor Niyi, the floor is yours now. Are you showing your video?
I can't start my video. I think you are the only one able to show your video.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'll just put, you want to share your screen, right?
You have the slides, so you can share from your hand, but if not, let me see if I can share from here. All disabled screen sharing, so just share from your hand.
Oh, interesting. I can make you a co-host, but I will have to open the latest one quickly. Just give me a few seconds.
Okay.
I think I have it now, Pastor.
Okay, good. One more thing. Is Madam Bella speaking today? If she is, then I need to rush so that we'll be able to give her time to speak.
No, I replied you already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please take your time and go through all your slides.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, colleagues. Thanks for the introduction and thanks for the opportunity. The first thing you find out is I don't have as many certificates as most of the other speakers have had, so apologies for that. And I might be disappointing you in some of the things I'll be talking about because they might not be what you are expecting. My intent today will just be for us to share experiences. So I'm not going to be teaching you how to answer exams questions. So if you are studying accounting, please don't use any of these to answer any of the questions you are asked in the exam. But I believe in sharing experiences. There are lessons for each one of us to learn. Also, if you can, get a calculator close by because there's an exercise that you are going to do, and it's going to be fastest and best. How many of us know the person in the picture that we are seeing on the slide? So if you know the person, just respond in the chat box. You know the person that we are seeing in that slide. Okay? Oh, okay. Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson. Okay. So I think majority carries the vote today. The person we are saying there is Mike Tyson. When I was growing up, he's one of the people who was in the news. So we are just going to be looking at certain things about his life, and we'll see what we all can learn from his experience. Good enough, he has documented them in a number of books. So because we have some very young ones in our midst, I've said in terms of titling the message today, start well. And because we also have people who have already started, we also think they need to finish strong. So today I'll just be talking about starting well and finishing strong. And we are going to be looking at Mike Tyson as a case study, like they will say, just to draw from some lessons from his life, the triumphs that he experienced, and some of the turmoil that he faced. And I want us to be open and not be judgmental, because it's easy to say this can never happen to me. Because some of the things that happened to him, some of the things that he did is just mind-blowing. But believe you me sincerely, it could have been any of us. Next slide, man. So Mike Tyson was born in 1966. He never got to know his dad. He stayed with the mom for a while. He was a troublesome child. He was good at fighting all over the place. He grew up in the ghetto. Fortunately and unfortunately, he had somebody who took interest in him who was like a guardian. But the person also died in 1985. Just 1 year after Mike Tyson became a professional boxer. By the time Mike Tyson was 20 years old, he had the whole world under his feet. He became the youngest heavyweight champion at the age of 20. By the time he was 21, he was the undisputed heavyweight champion. He had all the belts, the WBC, the WBA, and IBF. I mean, it was like he has conquered all just at the age of 21. Everything was about him. He was in the news. Next slide. Over his short boxing career, he earned about 500 million US dollars. You can convert that to Naira and see what it means. In one of the fights, he earned 30 million. Just one fight. Another one, he earned 20 million. That just shows the earning power that he had at a very, very young age. So making money was not really a problem for him. And by the time you've seen somebody made all this, I mean, you can tell yourself he's made for life. To put things in perspective, as of today, the average household family in the US, that is the husband and the wife, they barely earn up to $100,000 a year. Over the career of Mike Tyson, or at a point, he was earning on the average $8 million a fight. That just shows to us how much earning power that he had. The next slide. You would have thought that with all this that Mike Tyson had, what really happened to him? So the first thing I want us to look at what are the things that he was spending his money on? Apologies, the slide is a bit crowded. Tyson had a home that he bought for 4.5 million US dollars. By the time he was selling the house, he sold it at a loss. I think he sold it for about 3 million US. The house was sold, I'm sure most of us will know the musician, 50 cents. To maintain that house, 50 Cent was spending $700,000 a year to maintain the house. On the first day, we talk about asset and liability. So if I will ask, this house that Mike Tyson bought or that 50 Cent also bought, and they are spending $700,000 a year to maintain, is that an asset or a liability? Let me see your response in the chat box. Oh, somebody said most definitely a liability. Because on Wednesday when we started, some people were asking, if I buy this, is it an asset? Is it a liability? This asset or this house is a liability because it's just taking money away from you. 50 Cent actually said, this is the biggest waste of money in my life. That this is the biggest waste of money. It's a beautiful house, 52 rooms, 21 bedrooms. There is a nightclub. There is an indoor pool, 25 bathrooms. You have an indoor court, a multi-game court, a cinema room, a recording studio. But when he was going to sell that house, he sold the house at a loss. And this is not the only house that he had. One quick lesson, and I think we'll still come to that. Make sure you are using whatever money you have to acquire an asset and not a liability. Over the course of Mike Tyson's career, he bought 100 vehicles. He bought 100 vehicles. And then he was gifting his friends vehicles. Stories are that sometimes they go out, and because they did not know the vehicle they went out with, they mistakenly will enter into another person's car on their way back home. I could see somebody say, who could be that stupid? Again, let's be open. Don't let us be judgmental. Money makes people do things that they never believed they could do. You might not appreciate some of the things because you have not been faced with having that amount of money. But this is a real life story. So this is not a movie, it's not a drama, it is a real life story. And if you look at the picture that I call bling bling, it just shows the way he was spending. Mike Tyson was spending about $100,000 on jewelry and clothes. There was a case where he went to a shop in London, and in a single day, he spent almost 700,000 US dollars just buying a diamond watch, a bracelet, and a pair of pocket watches. He was spending 230,000 US every year just on cell phone data plan, phone plan, and all the stuff. On his 30th birthday, he threw a party. Donald Trump was there. Oprah Winfrey was there for 410,000 US dollars just to celebrate his 30th birthday. Tyson also has a lot of hobbies. Some people have expensive hobbies. He likes to pick and keep pigeons. He was spending as much as $3,000 on each one of them. Tyson also had 3 tigers that he kept. Each one of them was costing him 70. When he bought them was about 70,000 US. But to feed the animals, again, he bought the animals 70,000 each, but he was spending 200,000 to feed them. And he had to get a trainer to take care of them at $125,000. And this particular one is something that most of us do unknowingly. We buy things without considering what finance people call total cost of ownership. And like I always tell people, that you have money to pay for something does not mean you can afford it. And there are so many things that looks cheap, but the cost of owning and maintaining them could be massive. And I'll give you simple examples. A printer. When you get to a shop and you say you want to buy a printer, they might tell you, okay, you can get a printer for maybe 40,000 naira. But to buy the ink or to replace the ink of that printer can be 20,000. So while the printer does not look expensive, to own it, use it, might be something you are not able to afford. So sometimes there are some gifts that you get that you need to say thank you, but no thanks. Because that gift is going to drain you. So there are some things that will just drain the life out of your finances, even though they might look cheap. I don't know how much DSTVs cost now. I know there is a time you can get one for 20,000. But every month your subscription is how much? 15,000. So if I give you a gift of a DSTV, I say, oh, okay, I mean, you just moved to a new house, you don't have a DSTV. My contribution is to give you one, 20,000. But what I've done is I've brought an expense to your life that is going to be costing maybe 15,000 every month. So you need to ask yourself, do you really need that gift? Now, the other picture that you have at the center, the bottom center, that's Mike Tyson and one of his wife then, Gibbons. They had a fantastic wedding, but the marriage lasted only 13 months. A very expensive wedding ceremony. But by the 13th month, they were divorced. So for those of us who are not yet married, about to get married, and you are thinking of the talk of the town wedding, you need to ask yourself, is that really what he should do? Oh, someone said he's spending his money foolishly. Again, don't let us be judgmental, because maybe you need to start to look at the way you are spending money, and some people will look at you and say you are spending money foolishly too. In that picture, you can see a bathtub. That was what Mike Tyson gifted the wife. That bathtub is made with gold, and the cost is about $2.2 million just for that bathtub alone. That just tells you what the power of money is. For somebody who does not have financial education. And for those of us who have been condemning Mike Tyson, blaming him, he's stupid, he's foolish, one thing you need to understand about him was that he had a low self-esteem. So he was spending money to get acceptance. He was spending money to get recognition. He was spending money to feel belong. He was spending money to have a sense of arrival. Now ask yourself, you may not be spending at this level because you don't have that amount of money. If you have that amount of money, you may even do worse. Because even now that you don't have that amount of money, we can look at some of the things you are spending money on. I know students who are not working, who are using iPhones. I won't say stupid or foolish, but it's just the same thing like Mike Tyson. Do you need it? Can you afford it? Oh, it's a gift. Yes, there are so many gifts that takes money away from us. We try to impress people. People that might not even know that we exist. When the rubber hits the road, those people don't care about you. At the end of the day, Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy. He was seriously in debt. He had zero in his bank account. Creditors were running after him. All the friends abandoned him, including friends that Mike Tyson entered a club and he just told the bartender, the bill is on me. And I'm sure some of us have seen people do that, even in Nigeria. Maybe some of us have done that too. When they filed for bankruptcy, none of them was there to help him. The birthday party that he had, that he invited the dollar cream of the American society, none was there to bail him out. All the girlfriends and concubines that they were rocking and enjoying life together, when the money was not there again, he was on his own. To let this sink in, he had over 500 million US dollars. But at the end of the day, he was left with nothing. Again, this is a real life story. So it's not make believe. It's something that happened to someone who was spending as if there is no tomorrow. And he was spending on people. So he's not a stingy person. He was spending on people too. Like I said, 19 cars for his friends. He buy clothes for them. He buy jewelries for them. But at the end of the day, he was left alone to himself. Next slide. In one of the interviews that Mike Tyson granted, he said, "My last $1 million were spent on my rehabilitation. Because of the approximately $500 million that I made as a boxer, I had nothing left." So by the time he was filing for bankruptcy, he had nothing left. And when we say nothing, nothing. Creditors were after him. What are the mistakes that we can say Mike Tyson made? He was spending without a budget. So I ask those of us listening, how many of us have a budget? I do. I have a monthly budget. I record all my expenses to the nearest whole number. So when I take boat and it is 6,460 naira, I record it. When I go to Spa and I buy bread, 1,450 naira, I record it. All my expenses are recorded. And I have a budget that was made at the beginning of the year on things I'm going to spend on. And I have a certain amount for miscellaneous. And those miscellaneous are things that are unplanned, unexpected. Now that my car breaks down, I need to maintain it. That's not unexpected. I should have planned to maintain my car. I plan for the gift that I'm going to give. I've started even planning for next year. I plan for, I budget for how much I'm going to spend on food, how much is going to be spent on groceries, how much is going to be spent on fuel. But of course, things do change. Yes, when things change, we adjust. And that I have an increase in pay does not mean my expense is going to increase. No. When there is increase in pay, the net increase goes into savings and investments. I don't just increase my expense because I have more money with me. So spending without a budget. I mean, if you have a budget, you wouldn't enter into a bar and you say, hey, all the money is on me. How? When did you plan that? When did you budget for it? You won't enter into a shop and because you saw one fine looking dress, you buy. You know, some of us, we have that very great anointing. Any type thing our eyes see, we must buy. That's evidence that you are living without a budget. I hear people say, oh, it's difficult to budget in Nigeria, it's difficult to plan. Yes, but to fail to plan is to plan to fail. There is need for discipline. There is need for us to be hard on ourselves. if you do the things everybody is doing, you are going to end up the way everybody is ending. So if you want to be different, you want to follow another trajectory than everybody, then you need to do things differently. And some of those different things are going to be hard. And when things get tough people get going. So if there is anything you are going to take away today, is for you to sit down and develop a budget. Let the budget guide you to spend on things that matters to you and are important. Let your spending aligns with your goal and with your values. Let your spending be an evidence of the goals that you have set for yourself. Let it be in line with your financial plan. Don't just spend anyhow. Don't just buy things because they are on sale. One of the way people get deceived is when they hear sale, 50% discount. I need to buy it now before the discount is over. That was what Mike Tyson was doing. The things he was spending on was already an indication of how he's going to end. Acquiring liabilities rather than assets. We talked a bit about that on the first day. Now, for those of us studying economics and finance, please don't write this definition when you are doing your exam. Read that part that says an asset is something that brings money to you, positive cash flow. A liability is something that takes money away from you. And that is very, very important to understand. Most of us unconsciously are acquiring liabilities rather than assets. Those liabilities, they feed our ego, and that's where we are happy about it. You want to enter into that place and they say, yeah, the best dressed guy. Can't you see what he's wearing? Oh, can't you see that lady? Can't you see what she's wearing? Wonderful. Believe you me sincerely, after that day, they don't even remember you again. So are you going to spend just to have 1 minute of fame while destroying your financial future? We acquire things that we don't need. Someone said, when you spend your money to buy things that you don't need, one day you will start to sell the things that you need. And the story of Mike Tyson is a classic example. He bought things that really does not need. But at the end of the day, he was selling things that he needed. To the point that he had nothing to sell again. No assets in his name, just debt. The third thing was about poor investment decisions. When you have money, people will come with different ideas. But most times they don't have your interest at heart. They are just looking for a way to get money from you. They will offer you many investment proposals. including those that want to sell sand to you. I always advise people, any business, any investment that they cannot explain to you in simple words for you to understand how that business makes money, don't do it. Any business that you don't understand, run away from it. It does not matter who is telling you. It might be your pastor, anybody at all. Once you don't understand how they make the money, run away from it. Mike Tyson had very bad company. His advisors, his friends, they are terrible people. But there are also people who have very good friends. I mean, I am fortunate to have very good friends. I'm not sure whether I shared this with us in last year. When I finished university, from my NYC parade ground, I went to Port Harcourt for a test in the company where I work now. And after the test, and I think the interview, they wrote to me. There was no email then, so they courier a letter to me to say, we are sorry to inform you, you are not successful. Please try again next time. And I felt so bad, dejected, depressed, because I felt I did all I could. And I thought I should have passed. So right there, I made a promise that I will never apply to them again. What an insult. Never. Some months down the line, they placed another advert out, and I saw it, and I said, sorry, I'm not going to apply. I have another friend, the same class, the same course, that we did the first test together. At least me, I got a result that you are not successful. He did not get any result at all. But he was living in a place that was a bit remote. So I don't think he saw the second. No, he also saw the second advert, but he felt, well, since they have not contacted him about the first one, he also did not apply. But lo and behold, we have a friend in Port Harcourt who saw this new advert. He was not qualified for it. He prepared a CV for us and applied for 3 of us who are his friends. The same school, the same course, the same class, the same fellowship, but he was not qualified, so he did not apply for himself. So one day we got, again, a courier letter inviting us for an interview. I mean, there was no mobile phone. We could not have, we are not able to reach anybody. So when I got the letter, I look at them, useless people. So now they can invite me. My other friend also got the same invite. And the test was going to be in Port Harcourt. So we all traveled to Port Harcourt. We are going to stay with our friend in Port Harcourt. So we got to his house. It was in his house that we got to know which position he applied for. That's when we knew he was the one who applied for us. That's when we knew what he wrote in the CV, because he was the one that prepared the CV for us. Out of the 8 people that were employed then, the 3 of us that this guy applied for, we are employed. 3 out of 8 people employed, we are their application was written by one single person. That's what good friends can do for you. There are some marriages today, is their partners, either the wife or the husband, that made them who they are, either for good or for bad. The people that Mike Tyson was associating with, we are part of those that landed him in the trouble that he found himself. Another thing was about his character. Tyson was getting involved in so many fights, getting involved in so many cases in courts, getting involved with so many settlements. And that's why character is important if you are going to make a success of anything you are involved in. Character is key. So as you are looking for money, are you a man of integrity? I don't know whether I should share this also. There was an opportunity to buy a land. And if I buy it myself, it will be at a certain amount. Let's say 120 naira if I buy it myself. But there is somebody somewhere that I knew online, we've never met. Now, without trying to be tribalistic, I'm Yoruba, the guy is Igbo. But we've never met. We just met online on one of these investment forums. And if I buy through his company, I will get almost a 20% discount. So it will be 100 naira. So I reach out to him and I say, hey, I learned that they are doing this in your company. As at this time, I don't know his real name. I want to buy it through you. And he said, are you sure? I said, yes. I said, okay, no problem. On second thought, the guy was like, I've not met him. I'm willing to commit this amount of money. So he said, no, that he wants to come and meet me. So he came to meet me and we met for the first time. I said, oh, Iwanajo, this, we thought. I said, yes, okay. Then when he got home, he called me again and said, look, you are going to be putting your money and buying this land in his name, in my name. Are you not afraid? I said, well, there is a risk, but I trusted you. We've interacted. You are a person of integrity. And that's how I made the payment in his name. So I could have lost my money because everything was in his name. Now, he actually prepared a contract that, okay, this is legal document so that if anything happens, I will be covered and things like that. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Integrity matters. Can people look at you and vouch for you? When people say, oh, they don't have jobs, this, that, sometimes what is limiting the opportunities available to us is because of integrity. There are people who need drivers, but can they trust you to drive their children or to drive their car? I know of somebody that the driver just went away with the car. The driver and the car vanished into thin air. Can people trust you? Integrity is priceless. There are so many people that just because they can be trusted, doors have been opened to them. just because they can be trusted. Mike Tyson had very, very bad character and behavior. But again, birds of the same feather flock together. So I guess because he himself had bad character, he was able to attract bad company, bad advisors, bad friends to himself. But I mean, I just want to challenge us today, as Nigerians especially, let us become people of good character. It's because of our behavior, our attitude, our character. That's why many countries, even African countries, reject us. They look down on us. Because we go there, we cause fight, we cause quarrel, we cause trouble. I'm not saying all of us, but even one person amongst us give the rest of us a bad name. Let's decide to be good ambassadors. Let's decide to be good representation of Nigeria. Let's decide to be people that can be emulated. The last one that Tyson was failed with was tax evasion. Hopefully, Madam Bob permitting, maybe next year, we will have a session around tax. In Nigeria, tax is not yet a big issue, but I can tell you in the next couple of years, tax is going to be a very, very big issue. And we should learn about tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance is legal. Everybody should look for a way to minimize the amount of tax that they pay legally. So there is nothing wrong in doing tax avoidance. And there are so many things you can do to avoid tax. So many things that the law allows you to do to avoid tax. I'll just mention one today. For those of us in paid employment, I don't know how many are in paid employment here. There is what is called personal income tax in Nigeria. Personal income tax means before you are paid your salary, the government takes away their tax from it before you do any other thing. However, by law, you are allowed to make some savings, which is called additional voluntary contribution, into your pension account tax-free. That is, if I'm earning 100,000 naira, I'm just using this as an example. If I'm earning 100,000 naira and my tax is 20%, government will take 20% from 100,000 and pay me 80,000 naira as my salary. So let's assume that I don't eat, I don't do anything, I'm just going to invest. What I'm able to invest is 80,000, and let's assume my investment is able to return 30%. 30% of 80,000 is what? 24,000. So at the end of the day, I'm left with 104,000 naira. I hope that is clear. My gross pay is 100,000. My tax is 20%. 20% of 100,000 is 20,000. So what gets to me is 80,000. And that 80,000, because Madam Bimbo have told us we should invest it, I'm investing it, and I'm very, very super in investment. I'm able to make 30% returns. So I get 24,000 of my 80,000. I add it together. I'm left with 104,000 naira. Now, let's assume that I decide that instead I'm going to save that my 100,000 in my pension, because your pension is tax-free or tax deductible. So all my 100,000 goes to my pension fund. My pension fund invests. They are not as good as me that can do 30%. Maybe they are just able to do 15%. 15% of 100,000 is 115,000. So what has happened? I'm still better off than somebody that government have taken 20% tax, just because the one that I'm doing is tax deductible. If you have life insurance, it's also tax deductible. I think tomorrow or so they will be talking about credit. If you are able to get a mortgage, the insurance you pay on your mortgage is tax deductible. So those are areas in which you avoid tax, and they are legal. They are legal. The law encourages you to actually do that. And that's what the rich people do. They avoid tax. But that is different from tax evasion. Tax evasion is when you are supposed to pay custom duty, you refuse to pay. That is a crime. So there is tax avoidance, which is legal. There is tax evasion, which is criminal. Tyson was evading tax. And so at the end of the day, they caught up with him. And that's a serious issue in places like the US. And at the end of the day, the tax authorities became part of the people that he was owing. Next slide. The good thing about this story was that it did not end there. Tyson had an opportunity to make amends with his life. Not all of us always have that opportunity. Next slide, please. Not all of us always have that opportunity. So with Mike Tyson, there was a comeback and there was redemption for him. What did he do? I mean, he was charged for rape, came out of prison, went to prison again, filed for bankruptcy. He now had nothing. Then he talked some sense to himself. He decided to acquire new skills and made up his mind to monetize them. Some of us have been talking, I think yesterday we were talking about side hustles. He was getting old. He still tried to do some boxing, but I mean, at a certain age, your primary skill or career will fail you. If it does not fail you, where you work, they will drive you away. In my language, they have a saying, it's the office that will last the employer. So one day, you will have to leave that employment. Either they sack you or you reach your age of retirement, you will have to leave. So that's why it's always good to have what we call passive income. Anyway, so Mike Tyson started acquiring new skills. He got involved in podcasting, he got involved in acting, he started writing books, and those things were earning him income. He also got investment advisors who were now able to guide him as to what he should do, where he should invest, how he should manage his finances. And I don't think anybody had to tell him he had to cut out his extravagant spending. And they got some financial education. Actually, it's one of his interviews. They asked him that what did he think went wrong And he said it's very fundamental. From the environment he came from, he had zero financial education. And that's why for some of us on this call, if not all, we are having opportunities that many people never had free of charge. Many people never had that opportunity. So now, Mike Tyson is not worth 500 million. I think he's worth about 3 million US now, but he's happy, he's contented, he's living a life that he enjoys. Not trying to impress anybody, not trying to be like the Joneses, not trying to make a statement to anyone. He's just trying to be himself. And they ask him that, what's he going to leave for his children? He says he's just going to leave with them education, that they should not expect any inheritance from him. Because he said if he gives them anything, any small challenge in life, they are going to fail. But for me, the important thing is he had time to learn and to start all over again. Unfortunately, not many people get to have that opportunity. So I will advise us, don't let us be like the first Mike Tyson. Let's live like the later Mike Tyson. Next slide. What are the lessons that I want us to take from this story, amongst other things? Number one, whatever hobbies that you have, whatever skills that you have, try to get some income from them. Try and monetize your skills. Initially, the money you get might not be much. Because the problem with some of us is we want to hammer immediately. Life is not always like that. Like they will say, Rome was not built in a day. You can start small. Sometimes you will do things without even collecting money, just because you want to have the opportunity to showcase your talent. For example, you say you want to be MC. Nobody have ever seen you being MC before. And somebody is, okay, come and be MC at my birthday. I say, and 100K you go pay. You've never done one before. They don't even know you. Sometimes you might have to do it for free. You might even have to spend your money to do certain things. But when you are doing that, you are getting publicity, you are getting referrals, you are getting recommendations, then the money will start to come. But some of us kill the opportunity at the first instance by the demands that we make. So I don't know what skills, what hobbies that you have, dancing, singing, writing, public speaking, whatever they are, you can monetize your skills. And that can become a passive income for you. Acquire assets, not liabilities. There are many things that are potential liabilities. Many. And for those who are just starting work, who are just starting life, it's very easy to justify your spendings. But A, be careful. Delay some of those gratifications. I made my mistakes, you don't have to make them. A good example I always share with people. My second job, I started work in an oil company. The pay was not bad. Where I was coming from, okay, I was living with my parents. Then I got my first job in Lagos and I started earning income. So from zero, I started having money. Now, anything above zero has increased by infinity. I hope you understand. So I started earning income. And I get this other job. Then I moved. And I remember myself and my friend, we are looking for a house. The first house we got was a 4-bedroom that the two of us were sharing. Actually, it was my friend that got the 4-bedroom because he said, well, he needs to get married. He wants the wife to be comfortable. 4-bedroom, what are we going to use it to do? When I got my own, it was 3-bedroom, single bachelor. Nobody was living with me, only me and myself alone. 3-bedroom. Some of us, once we get the job, once they pay the first money, say, this is money. Your parents' house is no longer good and comfortable for you again. It's not good again. So the next thing, you want a place of your own. And you will try to justify it. Hey, it's too far to the office. Hey, I'll be for 1 year when you are still staying there. It was not far to the office. So, but now because money has started coming, now you want to spend. Okay, I need to get a house. I need to get a car. Everything now became a need because money has started coming. I did the same thing. I mean, I got a 3-bedroom. I bought a car. But looking back, you can be sure I would not have done that. There is an excellent way I could have gone through just by delaying that gratification. Like someone said, your primary income is a seed. You don't eat seeds, you plant seeds. What you eat are fruits. So plant your seed, let it germinate, let it grow, let it bear fruit. Then you start to eat the fruit. Even from the fruit, you don't eat all of them. Because out of that fruit, you need to plant again and plant again and plant again. That's what makes your garden to grow and expand. But some of us, we see the seed, we eat it immediately. Acquire assets, not liabilities. Diversify your income streams beyond your primary career. Have active income, yes, but let your active income be used to grow passive income. Let your active income be like a seed that you plant. I mean, never use your salary to go on holiday. How can? Some people even borrow to travel to the UK. When craze, no worry me. How am I different from Mike Tyson? You borrow money to go and enjoy. At least Mike Tyson was using his own money and spending it anyhow. But in our own case, we borrow. And you know, bankers, they offer you many things. So come and buy flight ticket. You can pay small. You go and buy. Come and buy car. You can pay small. You go and buy. Come and do this. And every these things that you are spending money on, they are taking money away from you. They are not bringing money back to you. Use your primary income as a seed to get fruits that you can eat. It might take you time. Wait. That holiday is not going to end though. London that you want to travel to, London is not relocating anywhere. So wait. There will be a time when they pay you dividends. You just buy tickets, you and everybody around you, you go. It's the fruits now that you are chopping. The seed is there, the tree is there, you are just chopping out of the fruits. So even if one fruit is bad, you pick another one. If you don't like mango today, you pick guava. Why? Because you have planted seeds all over. Don't eat your seed. No, don't. Invest it. And wait to get returns. When those returns start to come, if you like, now start to show your sense of arrival. That's when you have arrived. But when, for those of us in employment, you have official car, yes. They give you official house in Koyi, yes. Then the day that work we had, they will collect their official car, collect their official house. Then you move to Ajagbadi from Ikoyi. Because you get carried away with your primary income and you did not plant any seed that can sustain you later. Financial education and planning, I don't think I need to emphasize more of that. Planning, yes, let's do a budget. ESI, we talk about that on Monday. You have to earn, save, invest, and we need to spend with a budget. Spend with a budget. Let your black tax be part of your budget. Let everything be budgeted for. I hope that is clear. Let everything be budgeted for. Next slide. Avoid trying to impress others or keep up with the Joneses. You see, if I decide to wear the same cloth every day, once it's not dirty, I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you say. That's your business. It's my cloth, it's my body. I can wear it how many times I like. So if you like, I say, is that not the same cloth you wore yesterday? Yes. What's your business? Is it your cloth? No, be me now. But most of us, we are being pushed around by what people are saying. So because of that, we enter into debt. You borrow to buy shoes, borrow to do this, borrow to do that one. Why? Just because you are trying to impress people. People that really, they don't matter. In the scheme of things, they are not important. But they are the ones that are pushing you as to what you spend your money on. Because somebody bought a new shoe, you too want to buy a designer one. Because somebody wants to do this, you also want to do that. Why? Be yourself. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with yourself. Focus on delayed gratification. There are certain things you like that you want. Don't worry, just wait a little. You might not have it today, but wait a little. That money I used to buy car then, I could have invested it in something. And when I invest it, I will buy many cars with the returns. Just farabale, cool down, calm down, wait a little. Wait a little. Don't get carried away with all the social media influencers. We are going to package to make it and all this stuff. You don't have to. We fake it to make it. So you are faking everything up and down. After some time, the truth and the reality will catch up with you. Align your spending with what really makes you happy and what is really important to you. Lastly, money is good, but don't let money dictate your happiness. Don't let money control you. Don't let money determine what you do, who you be. Let everything you do be aligned with your personal values. I think I will stop here. Take a few questions. Then we go to the next part, which you are going to do an exercise. So you need to get your calculator. You are going to do a test. And you can be sure there will be a prize waiting for the winner. So can we take some questions? Maybe just 3, maximum 3 questions, and we go to the next session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Niyi. Thank you for sharing your experience and highlighting the lessons from Mike Tyson's life. I knew a little bit about his story, but the way you broke it down just simplified the lessons and made him a very good case study for personal finance teaching. Thank you so much. There's some questions. Can I stop sharing? I think, okay, no, I'll have to come back to it. I can come, I will just leave it on so that I don't struggle to put it back. What is the Q&A box now? So yeah, a quick one from Ephraim Okwara. He wants you to shed more light on filing for bankruptcy. He says, good evening, sir. Can you please shed more light on his filing for bankruptcy?
Okay, so fine. So this is common in the US, which is where he's based. I mean, where you are not able to meet your obligations again, you basically say, this is me. There's nothing I can do. I don't have money again to do anything. I am broke. So that's what Americans call being broke. He became broke. And you need to follow the legal process to say you are broke. This is how much you have. This is how much you own. And as things are, there is no way you can get out of it. So that's what it means to file for bankruptcy.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think the lessons for us from the teaching and the example of tithing that you put on the table is that we must not live beyond our means, and we must even be very careful, in spite of the money we have in our hands, not to be excessive and with our spending, so that we don't go from a position of having to having to file for bankruptcy. While we're at it, sir, I want to read some comments to you before I give you the next question. Dr. Basarov is joining us from the US today, and she says, thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful, instructive, and educative presentation. God bless you, sir. Now, quickly, the second question that I want you to deal with today, and it's a good one. Farouk Momo says, why do you think he refused to pay tax when he had the money to pay tax?
So I don't know the actual.
Hello? Pastor, are you there?
Sorry, I was speaking to a muted mic. Apologies. I'm not very sure, but I think what happened to him was he's not aware that he's supposed to pay the tax. He's not aware. And when it comes to tax, ignorance is not an excuse, especially in a place like the US. Every other crime in the US can be forgiven, but your tax offense, sorry, there is no forgiveness in that one. So it was just ignorant. And ignorance is not an excuse in the law. And again, if you look at his background, is somebody who was not exposed to any financial teaching or education. He's just a street fighter who was now able to turn that his hobby to make money, and he made stupendous amount of money there. So that you have money does not mean that you have knowledge about the things. So that was his problem.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. And what it means is that the people that have joined this workshop and people that belong to the Finance Coach BK community, they have access to professional support, they have access to mentoring, they have access to help. So you don't need to get to a position whereby ignorance makes you fail in doing the right things. Now, if you have registered with us with your email, we're going to share the slides of each session's presentation. But more than that, you have an opportunity to be a regular member of our community, whereby if you have a money decision that you're not sure about, you can just send an email and we will get you answers. And we do this for free. So there's no reason why you should not be able to avoid mistakes and learn from the mistakes of the patrons and the teachers that are in the community. Thank you so much, sir. There's a comment from Oyewale Stephen, and he says, thank you very much for this instructive and value-packed session. God bless you immensely, sir. There's a question from Favor Richard, sir. And she says, sir, the investments that you speak about, how do we go about to get the returns that you speak about? How do we ensure that our investments have returns?
Okay, I think you will learn more about that either on Sunday, I think. But what I will say is every investment comes with a level of risk. You need to just understand the risks. And the more you understand the business itself, the more you understand the risk, and you can now manage, or what they call in risk management, mitigate some of those risks. But I mean, you are going to learn more about investment on Sunday. So come on Sunday, Mr. Ajibola, we speak more on that.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. And there's a question in the chat box where someone is asking when the session for adults will happen. So we have 2 days, tomorrow and Sunday. And like Pastor Niyi just said, on Sunday, it's going to be all about investing. The first module for 1 hour will be taken by Dr. Charity, and she'll be teaching us about stock investing, how we can invest in stock by ourselves. And then the second session will be by Mr. Ajibola, and he will be talking everything about investing, from whether you have small money or you have big money, or whether you want to invest in Nigeria, invest outside Nigeria, or the investment opportunities and options that are available. And Favor Richard, I want you to visit my website, www.financecoachbk.com. I have 2 articles there specifically on investment that will tell you the options that you have, whether you're a low income earner or a high income earner. And if you go through those articles and you still have questions, please feel free to send us an email. But make sure you join the session on Sunday if you're very interested in investing. Sir, do you want me to take another question, or we're good to go?
No, I think we should go to the next slide. We are going to be doing an exercise. So get your pen, get your calculator, fastest and best. I'm sure Madam Bibo will have a prize for the first winners. Okay,
Yes,
so let me just explain the questions to you. So the first one, James got 1 naira in January 2024. This money doubles every month. How much will James have by December 31st, 2026? John will get 1,000 naira in January 2025. The money also doubles every month. How much will John have by December 31st, 2026? Peter will get 1 million in January 2026. The money also doubles every month. How much will Peter have by December 31st, 2026? Andrew will get 1,000 naira in January 2026. But unlike the others, his money will triple every month. How much will Andrew have by December 31st, 2026? Your time starts to count now. I hope we can see the slide. Somebody said I should repeat the question, so I will go over it again. James got 1 naira in January 2024, 1 naira. The money doubles every month. How much will James have by December 31st, 2026? John will get 1,000 in January 2025. The money doubles also every month. How much will John have by December 31st, 2026? Peter will get 1 million in January 2026. The money also doubles every month. How much will Peter have by December 31st, 2026? Andrew will get 1,000 in January 2026. The money will triple every month. How much will Andrew have by December 31st, 2026? So if you are answering, because I'm a very strict examiner, you will tell me the name of the person and the and how much the person will have. You will write it in full. You will put comma where comma is supposed to be, so that there will be no confusion. I'll give you time. So if you write number one, I don't know what is number one. No, that's why they have names. So you have to identify them with their names. How much will James have by December 31st, 2026? How much will John have by December 31st, 2026? How much will Peter have by December 31st, 2026? How much will Andrew have by December 31st, 2026? James have £1, and that money is doubled. The money doubles. It's a magical naira that is able to locate an investment that doubles every month. But he's starting with, James was starting with £1. John is starting with 1,000. Peter, 1 million. Andrew with 1,000, but they are starting at different times. Nobody is getting the answer.
There are many answers in the chat box. Are they all
I'm
wrong?
looking at them. Nobody
Okay.
is correct yet. Roslyn is close, but not exactly. Roslyn, let me give you an hint. I think you have 1 month extra. I think Chukwemeka is having the same problem. Okay, Chikezie, the first person to get James correct. So Chikezie has got the answer for James. So help me take note. So there is a prize for Chikezie.
Is that the first person to get it correct?
Yes, that's the first person.
Chikezie. Anyway, we'll get in the chat box.
At least to get James' own correct. So we have an answer for James. Peikemi, I can't see your answer. Okay, Kenny Akingbomire has got the answer for Peter correct. So that's the second answer we got. So we are still looking for John and Andrew. We are looking for John and Andrew. We are looking for John and Andrew. So we have the correct answer for James. We have the correct answer for Peter. Okay, Taiwo Adediji seems to have the correct answer for Andrew. Taiwo Adediji has the correct answer for Andrew. So it's only John that we are looking for now. It's only John that we are looking for. It's only John that we are looking for. It's only John that we are looking for. Okay, Chuk got the answer for John. So we have
What's
all the answers.
Who got for John?
Chuk.
What's the surname, please? Let me see.
I can't see the surname. I can only see C-H-U-K.
C-H-U-K.
Yes.
Not Chukwuemeka. Okay, he sent his response to host and panelists. Is that him?
Yes. Yes.
So Chukwuemeka Agu.
Okay. Good. Did you find the exercise interesting? So let's go to the next slide and we'll see the answers there. And this will show us something about compounding interest. It will also show us about what it means to start early and what time does. James was starting with 1 naira. Peter was starting with 1 million. Every other thing is the same. Their money is doubling. But just because of the 2 years that James was starting before Peter, while James ended with almost 34 million, Peter was ending with 2 million. Sorry, with 2 billion. And James ended with 34 billion. James started with 1 naira. Peter started with 1 million. So for those of us waiting till when we have big money before we start, sorry, somebody that is starting small, little, but is starting now, have a big advantage over you that is waiting. And that's the situation in real life. Because James started early, even though the money he's starting with is so small, but see where he's ending as compared with Peter, who started with 1 million. If I ask us and say, well, I have 1 naira for you now that doubles every month, and I also have 1 million that I will give you in 2 years' time that doubles every month, which one will you take? Most of us would have said, I will be Peter. Give me 1 million in 2026. That's a big amount of money. But we don't know that the 1 naira that James is starting with, by the time you are compounding that 1 naira, by the time you are giving Peter 1 million, James will already have 16 million naira. So there is no way that Peter will be able to catch up with him. And that's why time is very, very important. The best time to start investing is now, not tomorrow. Don't wait until you have big money. Don't wait until you have big money. Start with what you have. If you have a long time for it to compound, you will be surprised at how big it's going to be. And for those of us that did the calculation month on month, you'll be surprised at how much the money has grown for James. Maybe we can do the exercise together now. So month one, are we ready? Let's just look at James alone. So in the first month, he had 1 naira. So the second month, how much is he going to have if his money is doubling every month? Second month, how much is he going to have? Just put it in the chat box. Okay. So what I want you to do so that we'll keep track is you will write the month and you will write how much it's going to be. So you are going to say month 2, whatever answer it is. That way, when we are looking at the chat box, we understand what is being done. So month 2, how much is James going to have? We are focusing on James now. Okay, month 3, how much? His money is doubling. Month 3, how much? I want us to be fast. Okay, month 4, how much? Month 4, how much? We are doing well, so good. Month 4, how much? No, that's your month. Ephraim, that's your month 3 is not correct. Month 3 is going to be 4 naira. Good, Ephraim. Month 4 is 8 naira. Month 5. I want us to be following so that we know how we are doing the calculation. Month 5, 16. Month 6. Month 6, 32. Good. Month 7. Month 7. 64. Yes. Month 8. Month 8, 128, yes. Month 9, month 9, month 9, month 9. Sunday, you did not get your month 8 correct. Month 9, 256, yes. Month 10, month 10. You need to write it the way I want so that I can call it to. Month 10, 512, thanks, Ephraim. Month 11. Month 11. Yes, 1024. Month 12. 2048. So let's take a break at month 12. Let's take a break at month 12. Now, if you look at yourself, I've invested 1 naira and all what I'm getting is 2,048 naira. Most of us will get discouraged that 1 year don't pass. Now only 2,000 naira I get. And they say that I'm going to get financial independence. Is that how I'm going to get financial from only 2,048 naira? At this point, most of us will stop investing. Most of us will give up. Most of us will say it does not work. All these things they are saying is a lie. It does not make sense. They are just deceiving me. All this motivational speaker is false. Nothing like that. So that's what happens to people. because at the initial stage, you are not seeing enough profit, enough gain to excite you. But that's why you need to keep on pressing on, be consistent, don't give up. Just continue doing what you are doing. Just continue. So let's go to month 13. And you start to see how the thing will start to increase now. Month 13. Yes, time frame 4096. Month 14. Month 14. Month 14. 8192 time frame. Month 15. Month 15. 16384, thanks. Month 16. Month 16. Month 16, 32768, thanks. Month 17. Month 17. Kabiru, you are not showing the month, so I'm not calling it. Month 17. Thanks, frame 65536. Month 18. Month 18. 131072. Month 19. Month 19. Thanks, Treasure, for month 18. So let's go to month 19. Month 19. 262144 times Kabiru, but you did not put the month there. Thanks, Treasure. Thanks, Adete Abiodun. Okay. Month 20. Month 20. 524288. Good. Month 21. Month 21. You see, from month 21, we've entered million now. That's April. Month 21, that's one about over $1 billion. Month 22. Month 22, you see, we've entered 2 million immediately. Month 23. Month 23. Month 23. Good, we've entered 4 million. From our 1 naira, we've entered 4 million now. Thanks, Ephraim. Month 24. Month 24. Thanks, Farouk. 8 million. So let's stop here. By month 24, we've already entered 8.3 million from our 1 naira. Remember, at the end of the first year, we only have 2,000 naira. Many people will be discouraged. Many people will have given up. But see, by the time we are getting to month 24, we are already 8 million. And by the time we get to month 36, we are already at 34 billion. That's what compounding does for you. That's what time does for you. When you start early, the initial period, it might not look as if you are really making any headway. Everything looks still very slow. But with time, and that is why you need to start early. Allow time to work for you. Next slide. Next slide. So some of us might have seen this quote before. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it has it. He who does not pays it. In summary, let time work for you. If you look at the chart to your right, that's Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. From age 14, till when he was 52. You can't really even see anything that he has any money because it's very small. It was growing, it was compounding. But like I said, the early part we look as if nothing is happening. But like we just did, by the time you get to that month 20, it will just look as if the thing is just growing anyhow. And you can see that in the chart for Warren Buffett. And it's the same for everybody. So if there is anything I'm going to leave for you on this session, what you can do today, don't postpone it tomorrow. By the time Mr. Ebo will be telling you the various investment opportunities available, if it is 1,000 naira you have, invest it. If it is 5,000, invest it. Whatever you have, invest it. Now, I'm sure you'll be going to check, like we are checking month 1, month 2, month 3, and the growth looks very, very small. Don't worry, just continue. Just continue. You see, after the first year, the thing does not even look as if anything is happening. Just continue. After some time, that 1 naira seed, that 1,000 seed, that small seed will grow into a tree. By the time it becomes a tree, the number of fruits on it will amaze you. Don't uproot it because you think, oh, it's not growing fast enough. Just be patient a bit. Let time work for you. In conclusion, next slide. I will just conclude with that. This was what Mike Tyson said about himself. He said, my whole life has been a waste. I am really a sad and pathetic case. We can change that narrative for ourselves. Our life will not be a waste. We are not going to be a sad and pathetic case because we are going to do things differently. And I give you an example in Warren Buffett. He filed his first tax return at the age of 13. He bought his first stock at the age of 11, the first shares that he bought at the age of 11. He was not a brilliant guy. I mean, if he was that sharp and brilliant, they would not have rejected him from Harvard Business School. He's one of the richest people in the world. Even though he was giving money away, he's still very rich because he was giving away the fruit, not the seed. But look at the last thing. He was living in the home he bought in 1958. He bought his own house for $31,000. Mike Tyson bought one for $4 million. How's his house? We can choose who we would like to pattern our life against. But, I mean, I don't think that maybe on Wednesday we have somebody that is 10 years or thereabout, but I think most of us were older than when Warren started buying shares. So if you are older than 11 and you have not bought shares, sorry, you are already starting late. So you need to do a lot of catch up. Thanks and God bless you. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Pastor Niyi. Can you help me to celebrate him by putting, emojis in the chat box? Can you clap for him? Can you encourage us and encourage him so that he will accept our invitation to speak to us again in another workshop? Thank you so much, sir. There's so many lessons that you have shared with us, but we're supposed to have 2 sessions today. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we have 63 people now. Well, that's with the panelists. Please stay with us. I have a 10 to 15 minute conversation I want to have with young people.